Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As an amateur historian and a history buff, I've enjoyed learning about the lives of rulers of the past. No other ruler has surprised me more than the legendary Frederick II of Prussia, who is the subject of today's video. Frederick II, or Frederick the Great, as he has become known to history, was born on the 24th of January 1712 in Berlin in the Kingdom of Prussia to parents Frederick William I and Sophia Dorothea of Hanover. He was a great military leader, administrator, and cultural enthusiast. In this video, we will be discussing the life and the struggles of this great man, from his abusive childhood to him becoming one of Prussia's greatest rulers. Frederick's upbringing left much to be desired. He was raised by a strict authoritarian father and a charismatic, polite, and learned mother. The relationship between his parents were not conducive to creating a happy family home, however. He was the eldest of 9 children, including William, Henry, and his favorite sister, Wilhelmina. Frederick and his sisters were brought up by a Huguenot governess and tutor, learning French and German together. Frederick's father wanted his education to be entirely religious and pragmatic, but he developed a preference for music, literature, and French culture. This conflict of interests resulted in frequent beatings and humiliation of Frederick by his father, who believed his interests to be effeminate. Frederick was a homosexual, a gay person, having had 2 relationships with men prior to his accession to the throne. Both men received negative backlash from Frederick William I. Frederick became king on the 31st of May 1740. His father died a frugal man and left behind a formidable army and a militaristic kingdom. Now, let us get into the meat of Frederick's story and discuss how he has become great. There's basically 2 factors that has contributed to his epithet, the first being the wars he was involved in, and the second was the policies he instituted during his reign. Frederick is best known for what was called the Rape of Silesia. This happened when Maria Theresa of Austria became Empress of the Habsburg Empire in 1740. Maria Theresa's father, Charles VI of the Holy Roman Empire, requested foreign monarchs to promise to support his eldest daughter in maintaining the Habsburg possessions intact through use of the Pragmatic Sanction of 1713. This Frederick refused to do when he ascended his throne, and once Charles died in 1740, Frederick marched his army into Silesia. He claimed possession of Silesia based on an old, ambiguous Hohenzollern claim. This led to the start of the War of the Austrian Succession, which lasted intermittently from 1740 to 1748. At the end of the war, Frederick maintained control of Silesia, Maria Theresa finally ceding it in 1748 at the Peace of Aix-la-Chapelle. During the First Partition of Poland on September 22, 1772, Frederick gained Polish Royal Prussia, including Ermland. The First Partition of Poland was Frederick's idea, and he invited Russia and Austria to participate, mostly as a preventative measure against Austria. At this time, Joseph II was co-ruler of Austria with his mother, Maria Theresa. With the First Partition of Poland, Prussia gained 14,000 square miles, or 36,000 square kilometers, with a population of 580,000 people. He protected his industries, also involved in the 7 Years' War, abolished most uses of judicial torture, and reduced the number of crimes that was punished. The second factor that helped Frederick become great was the courts for special social classes, environmental, creating legal equality of all citizens before the law. Starting off with administrative changes, Frederick believed that the sovereign was the first servant of the state. Based on this principle, he transformed Prussia from a European backwater to an economically strong and politically reformed state. He protected his industries, increased the freedom of press, abolished most uses of judicial torture, and reduced the number of crimes that was punished by death. He removed special courts for special social classes, creating legal equality of all citizens before the law. Frederick was not a very religious person, being described as a deist. This did not prevent him from being practical in religious matters in his country. Protestants were still favored above Catholics, with Catholics not receiving high state office. Frederick wanted to develop his country, adapting to the needs of each region. He attracted a diversity of skills to Prussia, from Jesuit teachers, Huguenot citizens, or Jewish merchants or bankers. He retained Jesuits as teachers in Silesia, Protestant weavers in Bohemia, and encouraged immigrants by emphasizing that nationality and religion were of no concern to him. These policies encouraged Prussia's population to recover from the three wars he was involved in. As an agriculturist, Frederick established 1,200 new villages by opening up new farmland for colonizers. Through this policy, he increased the food supply to his kingdom. He incorporated the latest technology in agriculture and introduced new crops to his kingdom, such as the potato and the turnip. Because of this, he was called Der Kartoffelkoning, or Potato King. Frederick was also a patron of music, architecture, and fine arts and science. He supported all his court musicians and was a talented musician and composer himself. He wrote sketches, outlines, and operas in collaboration with Karl Heinrich Graun, one of his court musicians. Frederick had many famous buildings constructed in Berlin, many of which still stand today. Buildings such as State Library Berlin, St. Hedwig's Cathedral, and Prince Henry's Palace, which is now the Humboldt University. A great patron of arts, he collected paintings and ancient sculptures, which can be seen at the Picture Gallery at Sanssouci. Frederick's favorite artist was Jean-Antoine Watteau. Upon Frederick's accession to the throne, he reinstituted the Prussian Academy of Sciences with the aim of making Berlin a cultural center that rivaled London and Paris in arts and sciences. He invited intellectuals from around Europe, made French the official language, and made speculative philosophy the most important topic of study. The Academy gained great international repute by 1789, adding major contribution to German culture and German thought. Frederick grew increasingly solitary the nearer he came to the end of his life. His close friends passed on, and he chose not to replace them. He became more and more critical and arbitrary, frustrating his civil servants and officer corps. Due to his enlightened reforms and military glory, Frederick was immensely popular amongst the Prussian people, who always cheered him when they saw him. A nickname they gave him was Der Alte Fritz, or the Old Fritz in English. This name became part of his legacy. Frederick was found dead in his armchair at the Palace of Sanssouci early on the 17th of November 1786. He died at the age of 74. The legacy he left behind is that of a great military hero and a cultural leader. He is still considered one of Germany's greatest monarchs. Frederick turned Prussia from a small, insignificant state into one that will grow into a great world power. His belief that the monarch is the servant of the state really resonates with me and is contrary to what many of his peers believed. I also find it fascinating to find a military hero, an administrative reformer, and a cultural leader in one person, as there are so few and far between. I enjoyed doing more research on Frederick the Great, and I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. Bye guys.